Hi everyone, and welcome to the Weight Loss Diaries. It is Saturday, November 14th, 2009. I'm Denise, one of your Saturday vloggers. We have new girls with the Weight Loss Diaries now. We have 14 ladies in all, and I'm very, very excited that everybody has come on board and they've already started posting, so you've probably already seen some of their videos, and I just want to say welcome to all of them. It's fabulous to have each and every one of them on board. So, and as you can tell by the videos that they've been putting out, there's so much to be shared by all these different viewpoints. It's just so exciting and very energetic. I just love it. So thank you to all the girls and welcome. Okay, so first I'm going to report my weight this week, and I lost 1 pound this week. I was on vacation this week and I found it really hard to get my normal activity in. It's funny because I don't really realize it, but when I'm at work, I get up a lot, up and down out of my desk, and I walk on my breaks. I go up and down the stairwell. We have a 3-story, well actually it's 4 stories, but I only do 3 stories of it, stairwell where I walk up and down the stairs, walk at lunch, I ride my bike to work, I ride my bike home, and all of that activity really adds up. I noticed that even though I got in an hour to 2 hours, let me rephrase that, 2 hours on one of the days, about an hour to an hour and a half one other day, and only about an hour another day this week. 3 days of skating, and then the rest were a half an hour to an hour of aerobics and weight training. All the days but one day, so that's 6 days this week. And I still pulled out 1 pound for the week, but I had a really big loss last week, so I don't know however it lays. I just do my thing, and whatever happens, happens. So anyway, 1 pound this week. My total lost is 48.4. I weighed in at 212.4. So I want to talk about the topic of the week. I love this topic. It's on sugar substitutes, what our take is on it. Oh my gosh, sugar is such a huge trigger for me. I have tried to keep out most of the sugar, especially processed white sugar, out of my diet, and it's worked so well. And I've noticed that the times that I've let it creep back in on a daily basis, my Halloween candy episode, that was, you know, something I don't want to repeat again, left me with cravings that were just so crazy. So just based on my body, my reaction, I've come to the conclusion that real sugar is just not something that I can do. So that led me to substitutes, knowing that most substitutes are chemical laden, manufactured in a lab, and are not from a natural real source. That doesn't play well into my whole food regimen that I do. So my thing is that I eat whole foods primarily, and then at the same time, if I can't find the word for it, at the same time I do Weight Watchers and apply the points for more portion control. So for me, that wasn't an option. Splenda was what we were using in the house before I even embarked on any of this, because my husband really liked it, and I finally asked him about it. I said, you know, can we either put you on real regular sugar, and if you don't mind, can we do raw or brown sugar? And he was like, sure. And so we are slowly getting rid of all. When that runs out, we're not doing white sugar in the house, and no more Splenda. The Splenda's already gone. Anyway, so for me, that led me to Stevia, and I'd already known about Stevia because my dad has been using it for a long time. He's diabetic, and he uses it with everything that he bakes with it. He bakes with agave nectar also, although that does tend to spike a little bit on the blood sugar, but the Stevia doesn't, and you can bake with it. You just have to figure out the volume, you know, what to use, because it's so potent. Stevia, you use a very small amount. If you get it in its pure form, in its purest form, it is very, very highly concentrated. Most people, the Stevia that you buy in the store, most people know of, that is not in its pure form. They have fillers in those, and the fillers that they mostly put in are maltodextrin, lactose, I think it is. Yeah, lactose. I wrote it down so I wouldn't forget, and erythritol. Those are the fillers that they put in to kind of water it down, so to speak, so that you can measure it out the same way as sugar. But they're fillers, and it's still something that is processed, and I'm not into that either. So I use Stevia in its most pure form. Some of the things that I didn't know about Stevia that I found out through looking it up online once this topic came out, I thought, you know, I'm going to go look up exactly what the properties of it are and what's so good about it. If you take the Stevia leaf, it's actually a plant product, and it's related to the chrysanthemum family, I guess. If you take the leaf and you steep it in your tea, just the leaf itself, It'll sweeten your tea, and you are getting out of that leaf, you're getting proteins, fiber, iron, phosphorus, calcium, potassium, magnesium, zinc, rutin, and vitamins A and C. I mean, it just, that's fabulous, because in regular lab produced sugar, you don't get that. The other things that were neat about it: no calories, it's natural, it's not chemically manufactured, it's 300 times sweeter than sugar, so you need very little, especially in its pure form. And it's stable at 392 degrees Fahrenheit, which is interesting because that means you can bake with it. It doesn't ferment. Oh, and this was interesting, I didn't know this about stevia. It has plaque retardant properties, so it could help prevent cavities. It has no impact on blood sugar. Diabetics use it. It's non-toxic. People have been using it for over 30 years. In China, they've been using it since the 70s. Over here, we've been using it for at least 20 years, and it's really interesting because it can't be sold as a sugar substitute. I don't know if that's been lifted, but I'm not sure about that at this particular time, because I know that this is kind of a topic right now that they're looking at, the FDA, but for years they wouldn't allow it to be sold as a sugar substitute, for good reason. It's because the food industry didn't want that. I wrote something out about that. The sugar industry has fought hard to prevent its use. Chemical sweetener manufacturers and the soft drink industry have long lobbied the FDA to prevent the use of stevia, despite the fact that their products that are chemical laden carry some serious health risks. So it's been kept from us by the powers that be, and that's par for the course for the food industry. I'm telling you right now, I have a huge beef with the food industry, and the more that I find out, the more it makes me angry. So this is just another one of those things. Here's something that's perfectly natural, possibly good for us, from what we know at this point, better than any other thing out there in terms of, especially if you're a diabetic or sugar sensitive, and they're doing all they can to keep it from us. What is that? I don't understand that. I don't get it. I don't agree with it. I don't know. And maybe someday they'll come out with a study that says, oh, stevia is bad for you. I mean, who knows? It's an herb, it's natural, but that doesn't mean it's good for you. You know what I mean? We don't know enough about it maybe to be able to say that. Maybe someday they'll come out with a study, but for right now, for what I know and what I've read and how I feel, how my body reacts to it, I'm okay with it. So I go with stevia. That's my take on it. I stay away from sugar, processed sugars especially. I will do brown sugars over the white processed sugars in a pinch. But I don't do sugar substitutes at all. I'd rather take the extra hit on the points for brown sugar than do a sugar substitute. I just can't. I can smell the chemical. I can taste it. I don't want it in my body. So that's my take on it. So everybody have a great week, and I'll see you next week. Bye.